Assalamu alaikum. This is Pasha, the author of the Double Cross. I'm sure you remember what I said. The double cross is a metaphor for what the lies that we've been fed over a long period of time. Today I want to speak to God's First Lady. That is you, black woman, my sister, my family. What a great honor. When you look out at the world, you see all God's beauty. Imagine God bringing each and everything you see into existence for the first time. The first mountain, the first river and stream, the first sunrise and sunset, the first lion and bear, whale, dolphin, the first apple, strawberry, or grape. All these things happen for the first time after a long period of nothing but darkness, when there was no heaven or earth, when there was no day or night. When the Most High decided to bring all this into existence, He did so with a plan, with a purpose. Everything in this world has a purpose. It serves a purpose. There is nothing in it that just fell out of nowhere. There is no Big Bang and poof. Everything was created like the idiot white man has taught. An atheistic white man that intends on taking away the Most High's glory of creation and then placing it on an explosion in space that created all we see. Ask yourself, how can an explosion have the ability to bring about life when its very nature is destruction? That makes no sense. And yet, Big Bang Theory is taught at prestigious universities across white America. The question they should have asked themselves is, who created the space where the explosion took place? The space existed before the explosion. See how ignorant they are? I honestly cannot believe that as a young child, I actually believed that the white man was not an idiot or a liar. Silly me. The question is, who feeds the fly? Who feeds the ant or the bee? Everything in nature feeds itself. Everything in nature houses itself. All the thousands of birds across the world build their own nests. They find their own food. And they all survive on their own terms. The know-how is clocked into their nature. Every female species will fight fiercely to protect their young. That too came with who she is. All will give up their own lives to protect their nest, their den. Wherever their offspring is, they will defend it to the death instinctively, naturally. Now, how is it that a whale or a female zebra knows the cost, the value of protecting and teaching their young, and we do not? Why was it so important for the Most High to include the willingness to die in the mother to protect her offspring in nature, but somehow today it has become optional in His First Lady? Something is out of order. Now, being the first of anything brings with it a great responsibility of being chosen to bring mankind into existence, being the mother of the first sons and daughters to walk the earth, being the mother of the first prophet, the first builder, the first scientist, the first doctor, the first astrologer, the first mathematician, is an even greater honor and responsibility. But there are two problems that have stifled all the benefits that came with you being the First Lady of God. The first is, others have stolen your birthright out of envy and jealousy. They have taken your accomplishments then name them as their own. Secondly, you have forgotten who you are and what it means to be God's first lady. And now I know life for you hasn't been easy. I know that you have put up a long, brave, enduring fight. 500 years of doing battle. 500 years of being raped and assaulted. 500 years of being belittled and humiliated has taken its toll. But I want you to know that you always have the power within you, First Lady, because when God gives you something, it's yours. No one can take it from you, because God does not change his mind. It's yours, and it will always, always be yours. This is the double cross. You were bombarded with jokes, spit at, and made fun of to make you run away from who you are. You were humiliated and made fun of to make you forget to use your own blessings while everyone else jockeyed to take your place as First Lady while you were sleeping. But now it's time to wake up, to reclaim what is rightly yours. You are the First Lady of God, not born, created in as the original form of the woman. That's being. You are the model for the woman. She began with you. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. You get that? The world, as it is today, has caused you to look everywhere for the answers except within yourself. You look for it in weeds, in fake this and fake that, not realizing that the mere fact that it's fake means you cannot find anything real in it. You're wasting both your time and your money. It's just like the bird or the bee. Everything you need came into existence with you. You are a self-contained unit. You can both bring life into the world, then nourish it through your breast. Your vagina is both self-lubricating and self-cleaning monthly. Wow. Within the purpose the Most High has created for you, you are perfect in every way. Your strength is unmatched. How can they not be when you are the prototype for strength in a woman, the first? There is no love like your love. How can it be when the love of a woman began with you? You are the first. For you, First Lady, there can only be one avenue to reclaim your strength, and it's a simple one. Know who you are. Know who you are. A lot of the created, done, and said to make you forget that, because knowing is the source of your power. If you hear the speech ex-President Trump gave in Iowa last week in front of a white audience, he said that as president, he would destroy woke. I couldn't believe it. Our knowing who they are the lies they are told, and most importantly, our nation fully awake is the greatest strength to their power. They are afraid, and they should be. As I said, you gave birth to the prophets and God's messengers. And as you see, there hasn't been any since your memory of yourself was wiped clean, since you were contaminated mentally, spiritually, and physically. Remember what I told you about the prophet Daniel. He refused to worship their false gods, eat their garbage, and to change his name, because the thing's name is his essence. But now we have sisters walking around with names like Sequita and Alexei. We have fallen, and this is very important. Just look at what you are giving birth to today, without the knowledge of who you are, without the pride and the self-assurance of who you are. The level of ignorance and blatant stupidity has never been seen before among our people. Laziness, cowardliness. Where did this come from? Inside your womb, your fetus becomes the child's fetus. Just like what you eat, drink, or smoke. The child's physical characteristics are taken from his parents. For Bella, you decide who seeds you fertilize in your garden. There was a time among us when only the strong, fearless, intelligent men among our nation was even allowed to breed with you, First Lady, to ensure the strength of our future nation, our future generations. Weak men didn't get any pussy, but that has changed. You get it from anyone. There is no selective process, and most of those you give it to are too weak to be fathers or men. So they abandon you, and they abandon the child. It's almost expected of them. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? The weak man that was born to a weak woman that could not say no to the weak man that she allowed to have sex with her? It's become a never-ending cycle. The Prophet Muhammad has said, no nation was corrupted, but the corruption began with its women. And no nation has risen, but the rising began with its women. So you see, good, bad, you are the answer, First Lady. You have allowed your man's behavior to become what it is today by accepting the senselessness in the things that he does and say. There is a saying, why marry the cow when you can get the milk for free? No one can change that but you. You have more power than you realize if you only look within. As God's First Lady, you have a direct connection to the Most High. Most of you have never been connected to God because you've been taught to call on his fictional, blue-eyed, blonde-haired son. That is a dead end. This is the double cross. Assalamu alaikum.